Fast forward, any come out our channel is so I'm say AGH Politics Avenue podcast also training because making headlines. And na yajam re na EDB exomo wa ni dem ni ahun raksi mo se ene EDD kanya oni am stress so bit subscribe to the channel. A notification bell so share na afia for front so ensa into enkebi ni dem ni ahun raksi mo mame on fa unra eye political highway cinema oni a eje dem a enya asem koto akra na ne nyina no ksem eye OSP kisi ejaben na me no ka say eye the interview or good grant no our KXM show so and na me no ka say and the key point so lawyer Martin Kpebu etimi afifi ma make some expose bi say papa ne kan okre na ye kan obi a ketase hye proye mpo adokro ne paade a ene ne OSP na nkasa ono ankasa ye kosa ye kan say ketase hye ne proye no ono ankasa no proye ne ketase hye adokro no sa papa awo body bi enya asem koto bi etechire onia na oyi ne firi ho so a osan kwada na DPF say ye wo adwuma ye fo bi o mo ye adwuma ewo eye OSP office ho a omudin ewo akatwa wo ma so say o mo ye staff of OSP office special prosecutors office enso sankofo no ye adwuma as house helps ewo OSP fia onia case no enya asem koto akra at this point in time ye mo nwan sem no na ka kumu hu ye ne kwakwa no munti no ye mo nwa here OSP asoye ye hwe ne ye ko ne dia AGH Politics Avenue.
Oh, Mr. Okanse, you see, last week I told you that I suspected collusion between Kisi Ejabe and Ken Oforiatta.
Why?
There you have it. You see, Beshi or Popo Blibli has caught Kisi Ejabe to come and confess. You heard the statement. He said he watched Ken Oforiatta leave. He watched leave. He was powerless to prevent it. He went to immigration service, didn't get help. He went to NIB, didn't get help. When the obvious answer and the best was around, that tell the sovereign, the owner of the country, the ultimate decider of things in this republic, that is the people of Ghana. That is the people of Ghana. Look, Mr. Okanse, let's not forget, Kisi Ejabe is a first-class graduate of law. And Kisi doesn't understand the constitution, that the ultimate decider of major decisions in Ghana is the public. Inform the people. That is the preamble to the constitution. Sovereignty resides in the people of Ghana. Article 1, Clause 1. Sovereignty resides in the people of Ghana, and for whose benefit, blah, 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 the power is exercised. Then you go to Article 125. And then the other day, of course, Adam Senano added Article 35 for us. And even apart from using the word sovereignty, there are many other provisions of the Constitution that show that when you have difficulty, go to the public. Transparency. I told you Kisi Ejabe is more corrupt than Ken Oforiatta himself.
Why do you say this? I mean,
that is it.
Are you not being unfair? We just have to disassociate ourselves from this. But are you not being unfair to the OSP?
But that is it.
I mean, what is the proof of this statement that is more corrupt? And as we disassociate ourselves from it.
The proof of it is in his connivance with Ken Oforiatta.
What's the evidence of the connivance you talk about?
That he himself, the statement, he says he watched Ken Oforiatta leave. And look at all the places he was going to. Look, that he went to immigration, he went to NIB, he went to national security. Who doesn't know that Atubra Kweku is Gabi's boy, NIB boss at the time? Atubra Kweku worked for Gabi. He was Gabi's boy. He worked in Dankwa Institute. If you go to national security, the national security head at the time, Edward Asumani, also worked for Gabi. He's a Gabi boy. He worked for Dankwa Institute. So, and then Dan Parry and Faustina and Dokufi, we've already dealt with them. You know how, even on common Akunta mining, they didn't act. So that was the evidence. I told you, look, Mr. Okanse, there is more to come. When you do investigations in the OSP office, the corruption cases we are hearing, it will blow your mind. But I'll wait. One by one, when we present the petition for the removal of Kisi Ejabe, you will see the corruption cases that will come up against him. It's not joke. Look, even
the
this
petition,
SML matter.
You're going to present a petition.
Matter.
Kpebu, you're going to present a petition for the removal of the special prosecutor Kisi Ejabin?
Absolutely. The corruption is stinking. Kisi Ejabin. Oh my God.
No, but
listen.
I mean, that's why I said that as you're able to prove it beyond reasonable doubt, on this platform, we cannot obviously associate with that. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That
yes, and I'm also telling you that
you have to you say you're going to put a petition, right?
Yes, yes, because it's staggering. This SML matter. Look, this matter was with the head of investigations, Emmanuel Basintale, and his team. Kisi Ejabin took it away from them to go and give some less qualified people. I'm telling you, this SML matter, go check in the special prosecutor office. It was with Emmanuel Basintale. Emmanuel Basintale was a police, at least DSP, and he was Kisi's former client. So the matter is in public there. But he was in charge of it with his team, okay, for over a year. And Kisi took it and went to give another officer who used to work at GRA. You don't know this officer will be conflicted. This officer has a fight to pick with GRA, etc. So we're seeing matters of conflict of interest. That's the point I'm making. Look, be careful. Be careful. There are a lot of other issues we could raise, but perhaps because of time, you know, listen, I may have to jump onto a bus now.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm telling you that there are a lot of corruption cases that are brewing in the OSP itself. The Office of Special Prosecutor has become a crime scene, okay? And I'm telling this to you on authority. Let's go conduct a poll in the OSP office today. You will see the myriad of allegations against Kisi. Look, ask yourself. I want Kisi Ejabin to answer this question. Are there 2 employees of the OSP who are currently working as like house helps in his home? In his home, are there 2 members of staff who are currently working as house helps? Meanwhile, they are on the OSP payroll. Okay, Kisi Ejabin should tell the people of Ghana who is Kwabena Boateng Edu, popularly called Baron. Who is Kwabena Boateng Edu, popularly called Santa Baron?
So you're going to put all of this in a petition. You say you're going to present a petition with all of this in there. But then again, if you listen to him, he says at the time, all the other agencies that were supposed to support him left him essentially, and he was on his own.
So what happened to the court?
And had to put.
That's why I told. That's why I told you that. So what happened to the people of Ghana?
So you wanted him to come and address a press conference and tell us that this is what he's trying to do, and he's facing these challenges. He's not getting the support of the other agencies.
Absolutely. That is what the Constitution requires, because sovereignty resides in the people of Ghana. The preamble, Article 1, Article 35, Article 125, etc. And let's look at one practical example. When Akuffo was interfering in the work of the OSP, and Martin Amidou blew his whistle. To date, you see how Akuffo has lost this, what do you call it, reputation forever. Akuffo will go to his grave as the most disgraceful president.
Lawyer Kpebu. Now, you see, you held the view, and I asked a specific question. Now, you are going and making references to other matters. What I asked was, what would have been the effect of the press conference if the special prosecutor comes to tell us that this is what I'm doing, I'm not getting the support of the other institutions? What would have happened afterwards? So
number one, so that what I meant by referring to Akuffo is public opinion. So immediately, people were going to get upset on the various radio stations, the internet, the social media, the Gen Z. The public opinion would have gone high. And you know, every government derives its legitimacy from public opinion. So once the public opinion, like we are doing now, you know, as we are doing this TV program, we are shaping public opinion, etc. So with this, it was going to push the authorities to cooperate, because can you imagine if Atubra Kweku heard that the people of Ghana have heard that he's the one not cooperating, then quickly Atubra will know that, hey, people will soon say, because he used to work for Gabi, that's why, and Gabi is Gabi is related to Furiata, and Gabi is Akufo-Addo's brother, that's why he's doing so. Then Edward Asumani national security boards, the same argument would have come up. IGP, Faustina and Kofi, then immigration boards at the time, Kwame Esuatichi, the same thing that, Esuatichi, you had issues with immigration, etc., but it was Gabi who put you there.
So, but this is public opinion. How much of currency would that have in the scheme of things?
Oh, public opinion is everything in this particular context. I'm telling you. And you know, at that time, ORA was also working. We had Kofi Boachi on ORA and other security backups. You think if this thing had come up, we would have left Oforiatta to travel? I'm telling you that Kisi connived Oforiatta to leave. That is the collusion.
Until that is proven, would you say
and that is the proof?
The proof that what? Because
he
exited.
I saw him leave. That I watched him leave, and before watching him leave, he says he went to national security, he went to NIB, he went to police, etc. He was going to all the wrong places because these people were not independent. He was going to all the wrong places. I'm telling you, he was going to all the wrong places. Before then, didn't he know that there would be press conferences? Didn't he say Jabin know that he could do press conferences? Didn't he do Ankwa Noma press conference where he came and sang to the people, but he gave very woolly, very vague words? Didn't he know Ankwa Noma? He couldn't come back to do Ankwa Noma part 2, like we did Kumi Preku part 2. You know Kumi Preku demonstration in the 90s. But in 2022, didn't I lead Ghanaians to do Kumi Preku Reloaded, Kumi Preku part 2? So that is why, and I'm telling you that Kisi is supposed to be very intelligent. He's a first-class graduate, University of Ghana, first class. And Kisi doesn't know that he should inform the people of Ghana. Mr. Okanse, yes, I know you are playing devil's advocate. So let me repeat. Kisi says he went to NIB, didn't get help. He went to national security, didn't get help. He went to immigration, didn't get help. But the obvious and glaring answer, tell the people of Ghana so that public opinion will shape this matter. He kept mute. That is the connivance. That is the collusion. That is aiding and abetting crime.
Let me hear from
obstruction of justice.
I see. And
that is corruption. That is corruption.
Stay. Let me stay. Because Adam said, I know this position that Lawyer Martin Kpebu takes about the narrative of the special prosecutor in this Ken Ofori-Atta issue is that to the extent that he admits that, yes, he saw him leave, but because he couldn't get the assistance of the other agencies, he was powerless. And the powers that be were against him in that process. To the extent that the special prosecutor failed to come to the people, the Ghanaian people, as he's done in a number of the press conferences, that he comes to update us on investigations to Ken Ofori-Atta's case. He never mentioned this particular issue until this interview with KSM last week, when he had instances of press conferences prior to last week. This was never put out until just last week. Why is that?
Well, thank you, Alfred. First of all, let me also, like you and TV3, dissociate myself from the very strong comments my very good friend Martin has made on this particular issue. We fully disagree. I think it's important to listen clinically to what the special prosecutor said in that interview. And sometimes attention to detail is critical when you are drawing conclusions and relevant conclusions for that matter. It is clear that the special prosecutor this was a nuanced response where he was reflecting on the general conditions that the office of the special prosecutor was working under and saying that, listen, and it was not in reference only to the issue of the case involving Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta. What he was saying was that in general, the office of the special prosecutor was experiencing a hiatus where other agencies were refusing, clearly appeared to be like what you call, there was a blackout. There was some kind of agreement that, look, we are not going to give these guys any more information. And so wherever they went trying to seek collaboration towards achieving a particular purpose, they were not getting that assistance. So his comments were not that in relation to Ken Ofriatta, we went to NIB to try and get him to arrest him. No. He was saying that in general, we were not getting any support because the government of the day wasn't willing to. Now, I would like us to bear in mind that Mr. Ken Ofriatta, this is somebody where over 100 MPs wrote a petition because they found something that they thought should be changed. And the presidency was unwilling to do so. So I can very well understand where the special prosecutor was coming from. Mind you, when the reason for which the minister requested permission to exit was told Ghanaians, many Ghanaians, including myself, felt that the special prosecutor should slow down. The man says he has a health condition. He says he's seeking help. The medical facility information, the lawyers are saying they'll get the information and so on and so forth. Remember the backlash that the special prosecutor experienced when the lawyers and the man himself said, listen, it's a health condition, that's why I had to go, and so on and so forth. So I'm not quite sure this expectation by Martin that coming to the general population, and mind you, this is a subject in an investigation. This is not somebody that criminal charges have been proffered. There's no specific charges at the time. So under what conditions were the people of Ghana supposed to stop this individual? And mind you, he says, I'm going for a health review or a surgery. I think that all of this is far-fetched. And I'm not too happy with the situation where a lawyer of his standing just comes on a national platform and begins to make allegations. I think that we should do things differently.
So we disassociate ourselves from it. You have done so. Yeah. But then again, the fundamental question I ask is why this information had to be kept away from the people. I think that's the crux of the matter that he puts out. I'm not quite sure any information was kept away from the people. I think that's a disingenuous way of interpreting the situation. I think that's a disingenuous way of interpreting the situation. You're entitled to your description, but then again, the question is hinged on the fact that he has addressed a number of press conferences. Have you heard him, the OSP, put out this information that he tried to stop Ken Ofriatta from leaving this country?
Remember that the OSP has a mandate to report back to the people every 6 months, which is by law, and he has done that faithfully. There's no gainsaying that is not a situation that, if, for example, in my mind, the expectation was that on the 2nd of June. I'm answering it. Yes. Just slow down. I'll answer your question. The expectation was that there was a commitment to showing up on the 2nd of June of this year, because not only had the lawyers come to negotiate that, the gentleman himself has said, I would be available on the 2nd of June. The turnaround, or let's say the clear point at which everybody could say, now, this man is not showing up, was after the 2nd of June. Now, it is after the 2nd of June that many people are just saying that, now, why was this man even able to leave in the first place? Because on hindsight, none of us could have predicted that initially. So there was no basis on which you would have the special prosecutor coming to make this kind of statement right up to June. There was no basis. And in my view, after June, you could see that right from the 2nd of June, they then wrote to ask for the red alert and so on and so forth. So the question on my mind would be, after June, what was the opportunity for the special prosecutor to speak to this issue? And is coming to speak to this in October far-fetched? And I think that would be stretching it if we are trying to suggest that from January he should have spoken to it. Because we would have contended with him. The lawyer says he will come. He himself says he will come. Well, on what basis? What basis was he going to come and say the man is not going to come?
Yes. Now, just a quick one on this development, the fight against Galamsey, and then also this position that Lawyer Piakobi raises concerns about his former client now becoming a prosecution witness.
Well, let me first of all align with Kofi Bentel and Dr. Arthur Kennedy when we talk about crisis. In my view, there's a frighteningly high disconnect on one hand, and on the other hand, a denial that we have a crisis on our hands, and both are bad. the disconnect where people don't see the extent to which this affects all of us existentially. And then on the other hand, the group of people who know that we have a problem, but they are in denial about the magnitude of the challenge that we face. And whichever case, crisis requires radical actions. The question is whether at the moment we are being as radical as we ought to be. And indeed, when the president spoke and said he was unable to call a state of emergency, I had serious, concerns. I mean, in my mind, I wished we had looked at it as a state of emergency. And I was wondering, do the security capos really know where we are, whoever is advising him? Are we going to regret this along the way? Let me take a step back. 3 years ago is when I started this journey with the Galamsey issue, where when Akonta entered the forest, the minister.
We ain't some mahoro to me cause what channel. Mamma was so Jimmy or the Senator body and the Dumbi Adumania. Only essential na yan sumo pansong so.